with Mocienne. I am finally walking my mouse. Phew, what a day. A couple of days ago I didn't feel so well, but I have to walk my mouth because if I don't walk my mouth, I cannot do the dancing that I do. Going to walk very far. Cars passing by. Chip, 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 chip. I've been waiting to talk about Oprah Winfrey. The Oprah Winfrey Show was the first talk show that I tried to understand what it was, a talk show. Of course, everybody knew Jerry Springer. That was scandalous. I was scared. I was scared of Jerry Springer show. I was so scared. All the violence. Oh my God. Oh. That wasn't the show. That was just brutal. Absolutely brutal. And the way that Jerry really piss off people was phenomenal. I was, as a young child, I was really looking at Jerry Springer's show like, oh my God, what is happening now? Can this really be real? Is this acceptable? And Oprah Winfrey, she was acting like she's not the Jerry Springer show, but I did see Oprah Winfrey as in Jerry Springer show, only she was more sneaky, so oh my God. Oh yeah, when I was at school, Jerry Springer show was very popular. Everyone said Oprah Winfrey was boring and always make people cry. But Jerry Springer show, oh my God. So I had a lot of jokes in my school days about that show. Oh, even when I say his name, I have to laugh. Jerry Springer. Oh my God, oh my God. Okay. I don't want to talk about Jerry Springer show. I want to talk about Oprah Winfrey. I'm walking in a forest, and I have allergical reaction to dust, something like that. So that's why I have to weep my tears away. Okay, so Jerry Springer show was the scandalous show. Chairs were really falling, and Oprah Winfrey, she was behaving like the queen of the talk shows, and everybody loved her. And because she's a black woman, everyone expects me that I like Oprah Winfrey, but I didn't like Oprah Winfrey, not at all. I have found Oprah Winfrey very rude in interviews, and I felt that she did a lot of self-abuse because of the weight loss that she did. And let me tell you something crazy. I love her, what she calls fat. I love Oprah Winfrey as the big woman. I just love her. I love her for not her artificial body. I really love her for her, and all that shows of losing so much weight, and I knew that she couldn't keep it because her body wasn't used to it. I fell in love with Oprah Winfrey because of her role in Color Purple. It's absolutely okay. Coming to America and The Color of Purple are my favorite movies in the whole world. Coming to America is my favorite movie because I had to laugh so incredible hard about Eddie Murphy and all the things that he did. And The Color of Purple, the story of slavery was told so beautifully, and perfect casting, perfect point of history. And my family, we have a slavery backgrounds. I've been raised in that. When I was living in Haiti, conversation were about slavery. I met a lot of slaves in Haiti, and I was very young, and I learned about racism. It was all in Haiti, and I have seen the most beautiful black-skinned people in the world in Haiti. I have touched them, I have kissed them, I have loved them, and then I was kidnapped. And I came into Western world where I did not know anything. I did not know nothing. I was being educated on school when I was kidnapped, what Europe was all about, and how far did I reach? We were talking about French. That was my last class. We were talking about French. I really remember that because why? Because Haiti and French, there was a connection, history connection, because Haiti is supposed to be from France in Europe. So I know very well. I was 8 years old, and I was at school at Port-au-Prince, a very poor school, and education was about Europe, and we were learning about Haitian history, our connection with France. So I knew what Paris was, Paris and the cities and other cities in French, and in that piece we were also being educated about slavery, that Haiti was under control of French, all this kind of stuff. So when so I that's all I knew about Europe. I didn't know I was raised without a television, without I was raised only on classical music and seeing Marvin Gaye performing live, Diana Ross. I did had LPs. We had them. I was allowed to put LPs. I could lay on the ground after school and listen to music for hours and hours and hours. Really couldn't get enough. But I didn't know about talk shows like Oprah Winfrey. There is a helicopter coming by. So I didn't know about television. I have never even seen a television before. The first time that I saw on television was when I was kidnapped, living with my adopted parents. That's the first time I was familiar with a TV. Before that, I didn't really not know, because my father, he demanded me to read. So I was learning to read French, and I was reading Chinese, Creoles, and English. That was literature that I really had to learn. So I didn't watch any TV in Haiti. I knew TV existed, but I did not really know what it was. So funny, so great to meet Michael Jackson. So when I was kidnapped and I came to the Netherlands, and I find out television, and I explore television, and Oprah Winfrey and Jerry Springer, and Laurie and Hardy, and movies, I never had an addiction because I was drawn to nature. I was drawn to really physical things. But the Oprah Winfrey Show was the color of purple was the best movie that I ever saw. There was also a series called North and South that was about black and white. And Patrick Swayze, he was a part of that drama. I couldn't handle that. It was very painful to see the slavery because in Haiti there were people they used to be slaves. They were still alive, and they told me a lot of stories. And one of the reasons that they always told me stories, these black people in Haiti, and don't forget I was 8 years old. They tried to make me fear white people, and I had a lot of conversation with my father about that. And my father, Michael Jackson, he told me about the history of our family, that we also came of slave, and that it wasn't easy to be in this world if you are black because of the history of slave. And as a child, I was, are you ready? I was in love. I was in love with my best friend, and her name was Madeline. Madeline. And she was blonde and she had blue eyes. And she was in my school at Katharine. And we loved each other. She was white, Caucasian, blonde hair, and I was black, and we really love each other. We love each other so much. And I couldn't imagine that I should be afraid of people with white skin. So in Haiti, I heard so much about things that I couldn't put together because I was just too small to understand. I was living in a black culture. Everything in Haiti was black. I didn't see a lot of white people. And the white person who did come was Donald Trump. And he was tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, and he loved children. And he kissed me, and I loved him. So he was white, and he was the white person that loved me, loved my father. So all that racial part about that I had to be scared of white people, I did not know how to give that all in place. I just didn't know how to do it. So when I came to the Netherlands, I started personally to experience racism for the first time. People complaining about my body, that I was too fat, my legs were too big, and my hair was too curly, and my skin was dark. And people ask me, "Why are you dark, Mocienne? Why you can you, if you wash it off, will you be white?" And in Haiti, I have never experienced racism before, and not even in America didn't race. So racism, I experienced that in the Netherlands. I really experienced racism, and I could put myself quiet because I realized that we are living in a different time. So I was I was no longer a slave. And there may be people who may dislike me because of the color of my skin, but I told myself that wasn't going to affect me, and I wasn't going to deal with this kind of people. But when I saw the color of purple with Whoopi Woodburger, of course, I stopped mentioning Whoopi Woodburger and Oprah Winfrey in it, and some phenomenal actors that I don't know about it. That was the moment that I understood. Hello. That was the moment that I understood racism. It was such an eye-opening moment in my life that I understood, oh, this is racism. And the role that Oprah Winfrey played, that she was a black woman, that she was beaten because of she was black, and that was phenomenal. So the color of paper, purple, really educate me about what racism was about, and it showed me the total. When I was in Haiti and I met old slaves and I saw the scars of their body, I understood it was painful. I understood the pain. I cried a lot about the stories, and these stories have really haunted me. And my father, Michael Jackson, he couldn't protect me for the harm, mentally harm that they did to me as a child, because he wasn't there to protect me. So, and I learned that life was tough. And I learned that people were going to judge me because of my skin. I understood all that. And I don't know how I found that people. I found people who had survived slavery by when I go to the market in Haiti, children, grandparents of children of my school, everywhere for 2 years. I had to go to my experience with slavery. So I want to end this conversation now, and I want to make a new recording where I really want to talk about Oprah Winfrey, because now I'm talking about slavery. But Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Woodburger, they made racism come together to me in a total package that I exactly could follow it and understand it. And so even I did not like, hallo, goedemiddag. Even I didn't like Oprah Winfrey, she educated me something. She educated me something huge, huge. And I am now 46 years old, and I feel extraordinarily proud that I have experienced people in my life that have survived slaveries, that they have touched me, that they have talked to me. I could look in their eyes, I could cry with them. That was my time in Haiti. It was phenomenal, just phenomenal. No words. So many things that I wanted that I want to say that have educated me. So even I was very small, I tried to put everything together to understand the world. So when I was kidnapped, and I understood racism. I understood racism, and I want to say to my followers, thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for listening to my stories. And I want to say goodbye. See you next time, because I'm going to talk about what Oprah Winfrey meant to me. It was Mocienne Petit Jackson. Stay safe. Thank you very much, and take care.